Yo, time is 1:08 p.m. Um, I haven't gone to bed yet. I just had a shower and stuff. Yo, Pig. Get off. Hurry up. Let me use my computer. Socialism's like a religion. It's like a secular religion. It's like, ideology is like secular religion. See, this doesn't work for me at all, basically. It's very against me. This doesn't work for me either. I don't like this shit. So, this is kind of the best one. I remember this from ages ago when I found this through research. Hmm. It's a good quote. Who the fuck is that? I don't know this guy. Is that the guy that was on at this time yesterday? If you make a video with AI, do you still own it? Or is that not the case? Saying like you can't copyright stuff made with AI. What a joke. Just don't tell them. Fucking hell. Just don't. Oh, I made it myself actually. Oh, you wanna know how I made it? No, that's a secret. No, I'm not telling you. Right? You just don't tell people. It's literally getting to the point with these anti-AI types where it's like, just don't tell them it's AI and they'll stop complaining. They're fucking stupid. Oh, this is kind of cool. Ooh. What's the most expensive one? Accessories are interesting. That was cool. Fro's really taking his time. Hey, that sucked though. Jewelry can be cool. I have a necklace that was my grandmother's. I liked it. It's like pearls or something. It's like iridescent. So it's like has a rainbow effect. I wore it like one or two times. I thought it was cool. Shortly before I got sent to the mental hospital again. Yeah, I was trying out a lot of new things back then. Has been used. What has been considered in sociological terms as indicating the legitimate or socially approved use of power. It is the legitimate power which one person or group holds and exercises over another. The element of legitimacy is vital to the notion of authority and is the main means by which authority is distinguished from the more general concept of power. So the main is saying the main difference between power and authority is legitimacy, whether people think you deserve it or not. You can be powerful, but if people think you don't deserve it, it's not authority. That's what they mean. Authority is power that people believe you are justified in having. Right? A gun can make someone powerful, but whether or not they deserve that power is up to other people. That whether or not they are like justified in using it and having that power over other people is question of authority. I think something like that. Power can be exerted by the use of force or violence. Authority depends on the acceptance by subordinates of the right of those above them to give orders or directives. That's right. Charismatic authority is often the most lasting of regimes because the leader is seen as infallible and any action against them will be seen as a crime against the state. That's why Trump's so successful. Charismatic leaders may eventually develop a cult of personality, often not by their own doing. Yeah, that's what happened to Lenin. I think he allowed it though, because he's like, oh, it's kind of useful, but yeah. Power legitimized on the basis of a leader's exceptional personal qualities or the demonstration of an extraordinary insight or accomplishment which inspires loyalty and obedience from followers. Okay. So that's the goal, I guess. Is to get yourself to a point that's possible. These guys need to make more songs. I've added all of them. Hey, their listeners has gone up a little bit. It was 80 something or whatever the other day. This song is a total banger, bro. Leadership is the power to diffuse a positive energy and a sense of greatness. Okay. Greatness. That's quite ideal, isn't it? As such, it rests almost entirely on the leader. The absence of that leader for any reason can lead to the authority's power dissolving. Yeah, well, look at what happened when Jacinda left the Labour Party and collapsed. They had one of the worst results in ages. She was really a charismatic authority, except I don't think she was great. I think she's a grifter. She's like Meghan Markle, you know? She's just making money and fame off of like this stupid ass victim status. Due to the yeah, however, due to its idiosyncratic nature and lack of formal organization, charismatic authority depends much more strongly on the perceived legitimacy of the authority than Weber's other forms of authority. For instance, charismatic leader in a religious context may require an unchallenged belief that the leader has been touched by God in the sense of a prophet. Should the strength of this belief fade, the power of the charismatic leader can fade quickly, which is one of the ways in which this form of authority shows itself to be unstable. Charismatic leaders not only inspire followers through vision and emotion, but also draw significantly more attention to their communications, since a study shows that this is written weirdly. Followers spent longer reading both consistent and inconsistent messages when delivered by high charisma leaders. Okay, whatever. Something like they pay attention to what you do. I don't know. Like, if you're a charismatic leader, people will be more interested in what you have to say, basically. And you can inspire people through vision and emotion. Yeah, that's good. That's like Lenin. His works are very good. I recommend anyone to read them. He has a good writing style. I mean, some of the stuff that is written about is very specific, but his style is very good regardless. You know, he has like a critical, combative style that's very good. Gives you confidence in him. The validity of charisma is founded on its recognition by the leader's followers. His charisma risks disappearing if he is abandoned by God, or if his government doesn't provide any prosperity to those he dominates. Yeah, that's a good point. Mamdani's quite charismatic. He seems to be doing alright. I mean, it's not like that hard to like fucking... I think it would be very, very easy, in my opinion, to make life easier for the worst off people in this country. I think it would be very, very easy to do that. And I also think that you could do so quite immediately, as in with a very short period of time. Um, Without very much effort, if you wanted to. Like, that's my opinion. My opinion is that if the government wanted to, they could, with very little effort and within a very short period of time, massively improve the conditions of the lives of many, many people in this country. And it's not a coincidence that they don't do that. It's not a coincidence that when any of the leaders get in this country, the coalitions, whatever, they don't do these things. It's not a coincidence. That's by design. They aren't going to do them because they don't want things to get better for people. They want to continue the same system and to, like, scam off of it, basically. It's a fucking scam, right? Politics is a fucking scam with the people that are currently in. Fuck off, I don't care about this. Shut the fuck up. Stop fucking lagging. Oh my god. Stop fucking lagging. I hate this laptop, bro. Such a piece of shit. Stop fucking lagging. It didn't even go down. What's using up so much RAM? Tell me. Piece of shit. Oh my god. It's gone up. This is retarded. This thing is retarded. Okay, thank you. Drop. Yeah, he knows what's up. Made GTA Conan Slave real. Gem GTA 8 Conan Slave. Gem GTA Slave. This is such a banger. This is Obsidian Rite or something, right? Ophidian Rite. What does that mean? Who's Ophid? Oh, snake. Yeah, that's cool. Snake-like serpentine. Oh, sick. Did he get some drop? Nah, he got some watches. What the fuck? His mouth's moving. I haven't seen that before. Holy shit, who made that? SpongeBob. Yo, my car. The fuck? How I missed that, bro? What the fuck? I didn't even hit him. There's no way. This NPC's got a money, bro. What the fuck? Yo, he's getting away. That's him. Oh, shit. Get him. Get him. Oh my god. That's what I thought. Yeah, he's dead. Yo, this artist is Peg. I can't believe I found this shit, bro. Jesus Christ. What a fucking find. Damn, the guy who fucking posted that, I should check what else he's posted. Crazy, bro. Fucking ant. Crawling on my skin. These ants, they keep coming in, getting food. Crawling in my skin. These wounds will never heal. My son Bomboclat. That's funny. Get out the way. Fucking police officer. Yeah, back away, NPC. That's right. Only they'd move out of the way all the time. Holy shit. Like how fast this car is, I just wish the roads would be fucking clear, honestly. Everyone says, oh, you crash so often. Yeah, well, because I'm driving the fastest car in the game, you fucking retard. You're driving some slow shit. You're not even going fast enough to crash. Literally. If you go fast, you should expect to crash more often, you fucking idiot. Should just get rid of the NPCs, honestly. That was the best fucking mod. No NPCs, no cops. No NPCs, no police on the street. Like, you couldn't even get police wanted level. That was the best. It was literally an improvement with zero downsides. And guess what? It speeds up the game. It makes the game more responsive because it's not loading like a billion fucking NPCs and police officers and all this bullshit. Game was massively better, right? Just Cause 2 on multiplayer. What did they do? Remove the NPCs, remove the police. So much better. I actually like that more than GTA, to be honest. And you could basically mod on that, like, seriously. They still ban you for cheating in this game. It's fucking stupid. You can probably get VAC banned for it as well. I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, you can get game banned, right? It's like a mark on your profile. I don't really want that on my thing. Why do people vape? Is it for the nicotine? Like, what else would they do it for? It's not very smart, is it? My grandfather died at like 60 something, 62 or something, from lung cancer because he smoked. Yeah, it's kind of a stupid thing to do. You want to live longer so you can like have kids and meet your grandchildren, right? I don't know. I think a lot of people want that. Cause what? I didn't even know him. I think I met him like one time, and I was like 3 years old or something, so I don't remember it. I don't even know what he looks like. Because my father had a bad relationship with him, so they, and there aren't any pictures around or anything. I don't even know what he looks like. You know how weird that is? Not knowing what your grandfather looked like? I don't know what he was like. I don't know what he looked. I know he was like, not a good father when he was younger. When my father was younger. That's about it. All I hear is that like, it's like no one wants to talk about it. Okay. And I don't really like my parents, so I'm not gonna ask them. So I tried to like find things through records and stuff, but there's not much there. It's complicated when you feel like you don't relate to any of your family members much. Except my brother, but I mean, I feel like he takes after me a bit, you know? I don't know how much of that is, like, you know, shared experiences and taking after me, and how much of it is like some familial thing. I don't really know. Um, I don't feel like I relate to my parents much at all. And I mean, my mother's father, who I did know for a while until he died when I was like, I don't know, 7 or something, was like strict and angry all the time. So I didn't know him as like a person. I just knew him as like this strict and angry guy. That's literally all I can like remember him as. Not liking him, basically. My mother's mother was like kind of narcissistic. I mean, she was nice to like me and like, but I don't think she was a great. I think she had some issues as a mother. Um, I think she was smart, but and she liked traveling, which I can kind of relate to that. Even though I haven't traveled, I would like to one day maybe. It's not a priority for me by any means, but seems interesting. Like, I mean, my mother's parents were like quite. I think they were smart, right? Most of my mother's side of the family is kind of smart to varying degrees. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, but they're all conservatives. Like, I don't like conservatism. That's what they want me to be, you know? They want me to be this, like, ideal Christian conservative, basically. I hate that shit. That's not who I am. I've never really. There was a time when I was, like, very young. Well, not very young, but younger, you know, maybe a decade ago, when I was getting into that stuff. You know, all the right wings, whatever. And then I got older and, like, had a fucking conscience, you know. And you're like, oh, this actually sucks. And then you like left wing. I was already, even though I didn't know anything about Marxism or socialism necessarily, by like 2017, I was like quite left. I swear people get into that right wing stuff just on emotions alone. Like, it's not like a logical conclusion unless you are like directly benefiting from it. And even if you are directly benefiting from it, right, if you can call it a smart thing to do, it's not ethical at all. Like, you're benefiting by beating down on other people, basically, right? It's just you dominating them instead of you being a good person and then they follow you, right? The difference between domination and like, you know, legitimacy type shit. What was it called? Like prestige and and dominance. They have dominance, but they don't have prestige, in my opinion. They're not prestigious. Maybe to a degree, within like conventional, you know, they are accomplished to a degree, but at the same time, I mean, if you take a Marxist perspective, which changes things and calls things into like taking a critical perspective, I mean, they've done well because they come from a wealthy family and have like had it easier than other people for the rest of their lives outside of their childhood, basically. right? I think is it funny? Is it ironic? I don't know that despite having rough upbringing, they tend to retain the same beliefs that, or even worse, the same or even worse beliefs that the parents had. I find that very kind of ironic or stupid. Like, what is that? What is that? So on the other side of my family, I said I don't relate to my parents really at all. Basically, I don't even like them as people. I'd rather not be around them, to be honest. I interact with them because, you know, you kind of have to, because I live at the house. But on the other side, um, I never really met my grandfather. So, um, I don't know what he was like. Aside from like smoking and being an alcoholic, I don't know what he was like. I think that's a very narrow view of someone, right? Like, because I literally would say, well, I don't know. I don't know what he was like. You know, I was talking about this with someone once online, um, in DMs, and I was like, oh yeah, he's probably a bad guy, because that's what my father said about him. That's what his mother, my grandmother, would think. I think, you know, because they got divorced. Um, he was like, well, I mean, technically you never knew him, so. And I thought, well, that's actually true, isn't it? I technically I didn't know him. And look, maybe he did do some bad things, but at the same time, um, and of course, this could be totally ignorant of me, but I mean, why am I ignorant? Am I ignorant because I'm choosing to ignore things? No, I'm ignorant because people won't tell me the reality of the situation. It could also be that, you know, maybe he wasn't as bad off the alcohol, you know, or something like that. Or maybe he did have redeeming qualities, and I've never heard about them because people tend to simplify when they're dealing with people they don't like, right? That I'm kind of only getting opinions about the guy from people who say that they've been harmed by him. It's probably not very reliable in terms of like an entire view of the person, right? I think he was strict as well, though. It's weird. And then, of course, my father's mother, my grandmother, well, we have basically nothing in common. Um, you really couldn't find more different people to a degree. It's kind of absurd. Like, it literally makes me question, like, how am I related to these people? I think about that with my parents. I'm like, how am I related to these people? You know, but I mean, all evidence would say, yeah, like they're my parents, and these are my grandparents, and these are my relatives, and etc. But it's so weird because, like, I feel like for most people, they can like relate to the people they're related to. I can only relate to my brother, who's similar to me. I can't relate to anyone else in my family. Literally, no joke. I don't feel similar to anyone else. I don't feel like I have anything in common with anyone else. It's absurd. It's really absurd. I don't know why it is that way. You know? And I think I'm fine. I wonder why they're so different from me. Because I'm just the way I am as I am, right? My father's mother is like religious as well. And it's like a recent thing. And she doesn't strike me as like a super intelligent person. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, what an awful thing to say. Well, it's true. She doesn't seem very smart. I struggle to understand how we can be related to each other, all these people. Maybe my father's father was smart, I don't know. Like, when I talk about, like, important stuff, what I've said frequently is intelligence and ethics. Um, most of these people aren't that smart and have bad ethics, right? Values and beliefs and stuff. It's shit, you know? Like, my brother is quite smart. Look, he's pretty smart. He's pretty smart in things that I'm not good at. But he's pretty smart, you know? We're kind of different, but he's he has he got a degree and he has a good job out of it, right? His ethics are okay. They could be a lot better. I think he's been influenced by right wing ideas, right wing popular stuff. But look, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've grown up with him. I think differently, but his ethics could be worse, right? They're not absolutely terrible. He's not as bad as these other people, you know. My mother, not that smart, not that smart, really not that smart. I don't know why, because the rest of her family seems to be reasonably intelligent. And her ethics are terrible. She is like actively a bad person and is awful to be around because she's super narcissistic and gets extremely upset over tiny things all the time. It's so bad. It is so bad, bro. Just a terrible person to be around all the time. She's always upset as well. Most of the time, she's upset. Seriously. Why do I have to grow up with this shit, bro? It's fucked. My father is like kind of smart, and he's kind of a philistine though. At the same time, like in this New Zealand, he's very New Zealand. He's very much a New Zealander. You know, I say that in a bad way, right? It's a bad thing when I say that. As in, he has like intelligence, which he can demonstrate by doing certain things, but at the same time, he's like actively philistine and actively anti-intellectual. Like he's a waste of potential, basically. He could be an intellectual and he chooses not to be because he doesn't like what being an intellectual is. I don't know. I mean, I sort of like almost withhold saying smart, but like, what does smart mean? I mean, he has intelligence in areas, but it's not really. When I say smart, when I think smart myself, it's not really what I mean when I say smart, you know? it doesn't really meet my definition because he demonstrates elsewhere in his life that he's like can also be really stupid at the same time. He can be really, really stupid. So, I wouldn't say overall smart. I mean, he's just good at some things that are like qualified, you know? Like, does he have great general intelligence? Not really. Not really. It's true. Like, you say, oh, that's terrible. How could you say that? Well, it's true. That I say it because it's true. He doesn't really have great general intelligence. Doesn't seem to know much about a lot of things. I grew up on reading encyclopedias and stuff that people gave to me, and look, I really appreciate them for that. My parents supported my own intellectual development and etc. I don't deny that, right? And I value that they did that for me. And so did my extended family, on my mother's side, at least. Um, but if we're talking about like general intelligence, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It kind of surprises me that he's so good at like professional work as well. He was a professional worker. I'm kind of like it's weird. I'm not trying to be offensive either. I'm just trying to like express the situation as it is. It seems contradictory, but at the same time, I don't think it is. I think he's more like just qualified at stuff. Like I think he just gets taught how to do things and then does it, rather than finding things out through some sort of insight. Like he's not very insightful. But if you teach him how to do something, he'll probably get it and like be able to continue doing so. Like yeah, rather than being like exceptionally intellectual and using like insight and stuff to like figure things out and like do these like crazy connections between stuff that is like the skill of intellectuals. He's not really like that. He's more like, like a tradesperson or something. As opposed to like an artisan. It's like me with maths. You could teach me how to do it, but I've got no like inherent capabilities with that. When I had a good teacher, I did well in it, and then when I didn't, I did poorly. Like I'm not like inherently more capable than other people are. I'm like probably less capable than the average person is actually. I don't know why. It's kind of like, you know, ironic or something that you can be so skilled in one area and then like totally incapable in another one almost. I don't know what I mean. I'm just picking a word at random basically. It's not random, but some elevated quality. I feel like my parents kind of resent me because I seem like I know more than them and they don't like it. It's like a challenge to their authority. I was surprised. You deal with that everywhere in this country, bro. Literally everywhere. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. Everyone's like that here. It's what tall poppy syndrome exists to do. They can't just accept that some people might actually be better than others. Oh, that's a fact of reality which these countries try to like actively repress. It's fucking bullshit. What a joke. Imagine being a right-wing country, generally, that represses excellence. It's a fucking joke. It's so shit. One of the only good things that right-wing philosophy does is reward excellence. That's one of the only good things you can get out of it. And these countries seek to get rid of that, basically. To punish people for it, even. It's so fucking stupid. I honestly don't know how you could get a worse system than this. Outside of, like, corruption. NZ system, despite being largely outside of capitalism, it doesn't reward. Like, socially, excellence is not actually highly regarded a lot of the time. Especially, like, intellectual stuff, right? Because we live in a Philistine country. I don't actually give a shit. Imagine not rewarding excellence. Like blank slate theory, right? That pushes the idea that people are just born without certain qualities or capabilities, which we all know is a total lie. That is totally false. People aren't blank slates when they're born and then just become things throughout their lives, right? There is nurture, right? There is environment, but at the same time, people do have like things built into them to a degree, right? It's not a coincidence that most of the best runners have similar backgrounds of like ethnicity and stuff. You can see it. Pretty much, they're all black from parts of Africa. Like, it's not a coincidence. No one says, "Oh, what a coincidence." Oh, but it's just they just train harder. Shut the fuck up. No one believes that. But when it comes to other things like intellectualism, they say, "Oh, you must have just like been rich or something." And look, there's a degree of that. Like access to resources when you're young absolutely helps. But at the same time, some people are just have an easier time doing things, right? Why do we punish this? Why do we pretend that it doesn't exist? If I were a sports person as capable as I am at economics, not economics, intellectual stuff, um, in New Zealand or Australia, anywhere in Oceania, really, any of the two big countries, I would be rewarded. I would be rewarded. Even if I had MECFS, you know what I could do? I could just watch all the games, do commentation and shit. Do you know how popular that is? Do you know how popular that shit is? That's so popular. Like, it would be easy, because this is rewarded in these countries, and the stuff that I do is not. No one gives a shit about anything that I do, bro. It's not considered valuable here. Right? Despite, to me, there are glaring, obvious deficits of the things that I do. Like, there is a great need for it, yet people largely don't want it at the same time. They don't want the thing that would actually could improve things in society if you did more of the stuff that I do, right? Society could be improved. And instead, they say, oh, no, actually, we don't need to do any of that. We're going to keep doing the same things. It's going to stagnate. These countries are already stagnating. Why? Because we elect the same leadership from the same population that look back on the past and try to imitate it instead of innovating. This is not a country of innovators anymore. It's a country of lazy people who just mess around all the time. People call me lazy. I'm not lazy at all. I work for fun, right? I do the work that I do out of enjoyment for it. I'm not lazy. Seriously. It's a fucking joke. Most people in this part of the world are quite lazy, though, in comparison. Most people in this part of the world are decadent and don't care to work in anywhere that is actually productive, aside from the job that they do to make money. Alright, they've got no passion. This is a soulless place, bro, seriously. Especially the city I'm in. It's fucking dead. People in this part of the world need to study nature, seriously. It could help people out so much to study nature. Instead of clinging to old things, old beliefs, old religious style. This, tall poppy syndrome stuff is tied to, like, Christianity, of, like, you know, treating people as equals. And not... I'm not saying that you shouldn't treat people as equals, but I mean, like, forcing it, you know? Like, forcing equality of outcomes and not rewarding people for doing well is just absurd. At the same time, business. Maybe culture. I'm trying to find my way in, bro, you know? Look, I can't do sports. I don't care about sports. If sports disappeared tomorrow, aside from, like, video games, I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't care. They don't matter to me. Right? I watch the FIFA because it's fun and it's a cultural event, but I don't actually care about football, to be honest. business doesn't really matter to me either. Like, it just doesn't appeal to me. I don't care about making money off of PayPal. I feel like, if people like what I do, they should just give me money for it. But I don't want to be like, you know, in this slave type situation providing a service. Culture though, you have real influence. You know, you're not just limited to essentially objectifying yourself for your work. And this, like, that you are just reduced to the thing that makes another thing happen. In terms of, you know, I feel like culture is much more diverse than, like, say, I don't know, being like the average lawyer or the average government employee, bureaucrat, or the average corporate worker. They're basically just a cog in a machine, you know. Uh, but culture, you can be the one actually deciding things. You know, it's like being a leader. The fuck? I'm hungry. What am I gonna eat? I wonder if that guy's open. Was it called Pates or something? I'm sure it was called like Pates. That was fucking Paul's. Close enough. Is it open? Ah, it opens at 5 p.m. I'm hungry as fuck, bro. My stomach hurts. I haven't eaten for like over 12 hours. Okay, well, this isn't specifically about influence. This is just about culture. Oh, my stomach hurts. What was, I think prestige is the more important one. What was that back here? What is moral grandstanding? So it's gonna be so good when I eat it. I'm getting brisket gravy with mash and mashed potatoes and mac and cheese with pork belly. It's from this like American barbecue place. It's called Smoky T's. It's pretty good. Prestige. I bet that's French. Prestige. They probably say something like that. It is from French. I knew it. I knew it. It's so obvious. How do you get prestige? How do you change culture? That's what I'm concerned with. I want the country that I live in to be less antagonistic towards people like me. That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. And I don't mean like, oh, they're not just actively talking shit. I mean, I want to get rid of the fucking passive aggressiveness that exists and is like built into the vast majority of people that live here. This is something that they are taught from a young age to do to people. It's something that they teach you to do, right? It's not something that you're born with. It's something that is taught through culture. They are taught to behave this way. It's a learned behavior, right? Tall poppy syndrome is a learned response. It is a learned behavior. People learn it by seeing other people do it and copying them. I need to go to bed. And that's a good point to consider, is that counterculture does already exist in some fragmented forms. Like, it's not non-existent. And it could be reorganized in a more cohesive way. I mean, it's money, isn't it? Like, if you say, oh, why is rugby so popular in New Zealand? It's not actually because everyone plays it, right? a large part of why rugby is so popular is because there's so much money flooding into it. It is very well funded and has a lot of influence over, other parts of the country and stuff. Like, it makes money. That's why it's popular. It makes money because people support it. People support it because it has money. If it didn't have money, it would probably collapse and people would find a new sport to support, right? It is. I'm not like doubting it is popular. The sport is popular, but I also think it wouldn't be as popular if it wasn't as well funded as it is. There is a lot of pro rugby propaganda in this country, right? It's on the news every single day. Like every single day, they have rugby articles in the sports section. There's basically never a day that there isn't a rugby article. Um, and it's heavily tied to what is considered like masculinity, or even just New Zealand identity. I mean, it's considered the national sport, right? That means something when people call it the national sport. They're saying like this is the one that we value the most out of all the other ones, right? I'm not saying they have to get rid of the rugby. It would just be nice if they would, allow avenues for other people a little bit. Or at all. You know? At all. Because the things that I do and people like me do aren't rewarded by New Zealand society. That puts you on the outside of it. It puts you beyond it, basically. Which is, you know, it's interesting, but it's kind of a struggle, really. It's kind of just a struggle all the time because people don't regard you very well. Even when you're actually doing a lot of stuff, you put a lot of effort into it, spend a lot of energy on it. Um, People don't regard you very well, regardless, for whatever reason, right? Because they don't consider what you do valuable. And the culture actually teaches people to think that way, right? Culture actually teaches people to go, oh yes, this is less valuable, this is not valuable, right? And alternatively, this is valuable. What is valuable? And see, I think you don't even have to say this is not valuable. All you have to do is say this is valuable. And people will go from there and say, well, if this is what's valuable, then whatever is really not like that must not be very valuable at all. And so when we say, oh, yes, the rugby and the rugby players are very, very valuable, because this is a central thing in this country that influences the culture heavily. It does. It does. Heavily. We look at rugby and the rugby player, uh, that is the ideal New Zealander type. And people will go from there and say, well, whoever is the least like that is therefore the least valuable person in society. Right? Whoever isn't like this is must be unvaluable or negative value. Right? And this is how they think. This is why Philistinism is so popular because I mean it comes from this pioneer ideal, right? Pioneer. I mean there was some benefits of pioneer culture, but I mean, ultimately It is kind of like rule of people who are just making shit up and don't really consider the consequences of their actions very much. The rugby player doesn't consider the consequences of their actions very much. That's why every once in a while, one of them gets in the news for doing some terrible thing, right? Like cheating on their wife with a prostitute, right? Which I don't think that's inherently bad. Well, I mean, the cheating part is bad, right? Or they're getting into a fight and they beat someone up. This is part of culture. This is part of rugby culture. It's well established. Because the people in it don't consider the consequences of their actions. That is inherent to the sport. It gives you brain damage. Rugby gives you brain damage. The collisions cause people to have concussions and otherwise get brain damage. You really couldn't pick something any more anti-intellectual to do than to, like, be directly causing damage to your brain. It's a sport that people get stupider the more they play it, right? Like, on a biological level, it causes damage to your brain. And then they drink a lot, which also causes brain damage. It's not a coincidence, right? It's never has been. People use instinct rather than intellect, right? That's what it's about, and that's what this country values more so, is instinct over intellect. It does feel a bit zero-sum. It feels like there's this conflict between people who are more intellectual and people who are more interested in relying on instincts. Look, like, I'm not gonna, like, to be honest, both have their value and both are important, right? It's kind of like ethics and intelligence, right? Why does the outlet in this country have to be watching people beat each other up? You know, like in reality, you know, like people are actually getting harmed. I think that's gross. It's gross. It's like boxing and stuff. How can people watch that? They're like, oh, they're like enjoying it like it's fake. Like it's not fake though. Those people are actually getting harmed. How's that a good thing? It's barbarian. Fucking barbaric, bro. Why have we regressed? Like, why is it going backwards? You know? Shit's crazy. That stuff is fucking sick. It's not something that is like, you know, admirable. Why do people admire that stuff? Fucking barb rolls and all that. When's my food gonna arrive, bro? Okay. I really gotta go to bed, son. I don't really feel tired though. Come on. Where are my old things? This is bugged. Oh god, that took ages. If you go off of Gramsci's understanding. It's like you have like the base, which is like the material stuff, and then culture is produced out of it, right? Base and superstructure. Who the fuck killed me? I don't know why somebody killed me, bro. Who the fuck was it? This guy? Come on, Fode, hurry up. I should have had my mic closer to my mouth. What the fuck? Oh, I thought that was him. No, this guy just ran him over. What the? Don't shoot at me, you retard. It wasn't even me. Why the fuck is he railgunning me? I didn't even hit him. The other guy's gonna go run him over. He's gonna try blow me up. Watch. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. The fuck? Oh, he actually got him? Better not come after me next. He is coming after me. Oh my fucking god, bro. He's just griefing now. You already killed me once. I didn't even hit him or anything. Griefer alert. Well, so what is the basin like? If we consider rugby as part of this superstructure, it fits into this like culture thing. Um, where does that actually come from in the base, though? Material and historical. Hmm. That's what I said. Social reward. This is a weird thing, isn't it? It does seem to be a kind of an agricultural thing, but it still remains very popular, which is weird. It's like a legacy. It's like left over from a past society. hands. Hate hands, bro. Go away. Fuck off. Stop crawling on my desk. Fucking VPN's not working, isn't it? Yeah, I knew it.
Iceman was a nice man, now he's hot and cold. Bro, what the fuck? Oh. No. Huh. I wanted to do law. That would have been cool. Yeah, cultural production. I feel like that's what I could do. This is funny. Whoops, my mic was off. Stupid button on this. I'm gonna get off now. This is quite an interesting article. I'm gonna go to bed.